Hey, it's Terry with your coach. Welcome to day 18 of our 20 days of turning obstacles into opportunities in 2020. Every year, my sister gives me a calendar. It's this cute little calendar by the artist Susie Toronto, and it's really wacky and wild and very fun. And I really look forward to it every year. I'm just trying to find the beginning of it, but anyway, she's got lots of cute pictures and little pithy sayings. And if you haven't looked up Susie Toronto, it's very, very worth a look-see. But this month, she says that Plan B, it's the true test of character. And those of you who are watching these videos and who are parents with Yar, in my experience with you, are always people who make lemonade out of lemons. You know, you know how to keep moving. You know how to make the best of sometimes the worst of times. So that's what we're continuing to do here. Plan B doesn't go like you think it should go is what we're in the middle of right now, right? With this pandemic. And so if it's the true test of character, you know, character is who we really are. That word comes from the basic, I think, Greek word, well, anyway, the root word is char, you know, to burn something into you like a brand. Character is who you really are. Persona is what the Greeks used to use back in the early Greek theater, the mask in front, the person you're projecting. It's not really you, it's a mask. It's so many of us are so used to putting the mask on and the makeup and the car and the whatever we need to reflect a certain persona that we often forget our true character, what's really charred into us. And so that's what we're really working on here. The true test of character is who you really are. And that's what we work toward for ourselves and our teenagers in YAR. That's what YAR, Youth and Adolescent Relationships, is all about. It's getting down to your true identity. So the quote that I have on today's Facebook page is from Thomas Edison. Discontent is the first necessity of progress. If that quote is true, then I'd like you to take a look, which I believe it is. You know, you got to see something's not quite right before you can move on to how to fix it, right? So if Edison's quote's true, then take a look at your list from yesterday and about school. Why I can't switch school options. Why the option we've always had is the only one that's going to work for my child or my children or myself. List the reasons why. I asked you to list the reasons why they wouldn't work and then what it would take to make them work if you felt like you wanted something different for your kid. If you really wanted that, if you really felt like that would work. So today I want to talk to you about job options. If you listed yesterday as an obstacle your job, I have to work, I can't stay home with my kids, I have to, whatever, if that's usually the biggest part of it, I'd like for you to do the same thing today around your job. List the reasons why you feel you cannot consider a different job option. Just list the reasons why. And then list the reasons of how that could possibly change. You know, I worked for the same school district for years, and almost without fail, every year I was doing something different in that school. I was starting a new program. I was doing new curriculum. I mean, I was just doing all kinds of new things in that, in the same company, if you will. But these opportunities came to me, and if I had said no to them, I would just be teaching in the classroom, and that was fine. But these opportunities came along, and oftentimes I would think, I can't do that. I'm not equipped to do that. And it turned out I did it all pretty good. You know, I got through it with a lot of support from administration and staff and faculty. But if you let that stop you, if you say, you know, I've heard a quote that says life is about the yeses, what you say yes to in life. The no's just lead to nowhere. If you say, nope, can't do that, that's it. End of discussion. There's no broader discussion, no broader thought about what could be. That's why I asked you to take a look at your dreams. So if you feel like that your job is the absolute only way you can do it, maybe in the obstacles maybe you identify with your job and you've worked really hard and it's a part of your identity. And who would you be without that job? Or you just have to have this job or two jobs or three jobs to survive. So I would like for you to list today why you couldn't change jobs. The five reasons, just five. This is how come I can't change my job, because I got to pay my rent or I got whatever. And then list how that could be different, possibly. I'm not saying you have to make it different. I'm just saying possibly. You know, a lot of parents, I don't know a lot, but I was speaking to a parent yesterday who she has three kids, and you know, one of them is going to go to school online, and the other two are she's gonna have a tutor come into the house, and maybe she'll barter with the tutor, depending on who it is. Maybe she'll pay him. I don't really know. But for the other two kids, she's like, I think this is going to be the best fix until we figure school out. And I really admire that. I admire that willingness to be fluid, right? To be flexible. I always used to tell my students, look, you got to remember the F word if you're going to make it in life. Flexibility. If you can't bend with what's going on, you're going to break. You know, any tree in a hurricane will tell you that. So, you know, broader thinking leads to some parents taking a sabbatical year abroad if they teach, and they'll go teach somewhere else and take their family with them, rent their house for a year. I'm not saying we can do that now. I'm just putting things out there to broaden your way of thinking. They take a year to go volunteer, or they send their kids on a gap year. Adolescents can actually, depending on their age, teenagers can actually tutor other English speakers online, other students, and get paid for it or get school credit for it. There are all sorts of ways that you could do things, you know. So just to expand those. And, you know, if it comes up that you go, this is a terrible idea, I can't, I'm not asking you to act on them. All I'm asking you to do is write them down. Get them out of your head. This is why I cannot switch jobs or leave my job or do anything different. And this is why, what would have to be different. 5 reasons why I could. What would have to be different? You know, and you go, that's a terrible idea. I can't. Okay, one of my favorite quotes is from this movie, The Tuscan Sun, which is based on a memoir of a writer. And one of my favorite lines is that she's going to buy this villa that she really can't afford. She doesn't know anything about. She doesn't speak the language in Italy. And she says, it's a terrible idea to even think about it. And someone comes up to her and says, terrible ideas. Don't you just love those? And when I heard that, it felt so freeing, because I know so many people who have launched into different lives and careers and ways of doing things just by broadening the space in their mind, just broadening the space. Right now, everything's crunching down on us, especially if you're a parent of a kid who just has to start school. If you're a teacher, it's like, everybody's crunching down. This is what I should do. This is what I could do. This is what I have to do. And what's going to happen, you know, and the panic, and it just doesn't help. So what I'm asking you to do is create space for different options. That's why we've asked you to take a look at your own identity and how other people's persuasions might influence it. So today on day 18, good luck with that. And I'll see you right back here tomorrow on day 19 of our last 2 days of turning obstacles into opportunities in 2020. Dream big. Thanks so much for being here. Take care.